People used to treat me like I was nothing more than a body, a pretty face to showcase their fantasies. Little did they know, beneath the layers of glamour, I was a black belt ready to fight back. My career as a model often felt like a balancing act, navigating the glitzy chaos of high-end studios while carrying the weight of stereotypes and assumptions. When Bryce, Tate, and Drew snickered over cocktails, their glances slicing through the air, I was not merely a silhouette, I was a target. Harassment began subtly, laughter that lingered too long, whispers that twisted my reality. Each unwanted comment reinforced my determination to endure, taught to uphold societal expectations that demanded silence from women, especially black women. My martial arts training echoed in my mind, an arsenal of strength against both verbal and physical threats. But that didn't silence my fear, it only sharpened my resolve. One fateful night, exhaustion cloaked my senses as I walked home from a late shoot. The unmistakable SUV crept into view, filled with the same entitled faces. When Bryce jerked my arm and Tate encroached on my space, adrenaline surged. I felt vulnerable, but a simmering strength ignited within me. I wasn't powerless. In an instant, I dropped into my karate stance. A whirlwind of movement followed, a choreography I had perfected. I disarmed, incapacitated, and reclaimed my power under the astonished eyes of witnesses. As police arrived, I stood tall, my story unyielding against their sobs of defeat. That night marked my turning point, a catalyst igniting broader discourse about consent and respect in modeling. Rising from those dark moments, I fully embraced my voice, creating Monroe models to ensure empowerment and community support. If the world wouldn't protect us, we would protect each other. I no longer walked in silence, but with confidence, prepared to champion change. Tate leaned against the wall, smirking as he eyed her. "You know, I've got a studio available for private sessions. What do you say?" The model's heart raced. She forced a laugh. "That's not really professional, is it?" Bryce chimed in, leaning closer. "Oh, come on, just a little fun. Don't you want to lighten up?" Faltered. "I'm here to work." Laughter erupted from Drew, who stood a few feet back, arms crossed, as if he were the judge of her worth. "Work? Or is that just the facade? You know how these shoots can be." Schurz inhaled deeply, suppressing the anger bubbling up from within. "I don't have to justify myself to you." Tate rolled his eyes, dismissing her with a flick of his wrist. "Oh, lighten up. You're too serious. Just let loose a little." She felt the heat of humiliation creep up her neck but maintained her composure. "This isn't the way to do it." "Just tell your manager," Drew scoffed, his tone mocking. "Why don't you?" she shot back, voice steady despite the ache in her chest. Later, when she confided in her manager, the dismissive wave of the hand stung. "They're just being boys. It's part of the industry." As she walked home that night, shadows sprung to life, and tension crawled up her spine. The SUV idled, the headlights illuminating their sneers. Bryce stepped out, grabbing her arm, forcing her into a world of vulnerability. "Let's have some fun," he smirked, as her heart sank. Her dress tore, and something awakened within her. Silence won't save me. In that moment, fear transformed into resolve. She dropped into a stance, the training of years flooding back. "You want to see fun?" The unleashed power surged through her. The streetlights flickered as she walked home, exhaustion weighing heavily on her shoulders. Behind her, laughter echoed in the stillness, a sound that felt like an approaching storm. She turned slightly, heart racing, and saw the familiar SUV idling. Bryce, Tate, and Drew lounged inside, eyes glinting mischievously. A knot tightened in her stomach. She quickened her pace, feigning indifference. Memories of her karate training flashed through her mind. A safe space where she was powerful, in control. Yet the gritty reality was oppressive. They were relentless, calling out lewd remarks as she passed. All her instincts screamed to keep moving, but they shattered her silence. Tate stepped out, leaning against the vehicle as if claiming territory. "How about a private session, sweetheart?" His voice oozed entitlement. She felt heat rising, a combination of fear and simmering rage. "Leave me alone," she said, trying to sound steady, but the trembling of her hands betrayed her. Bryce surged forward, gripping her arm. "Just having a little fun," he sneered, pulling her closer as if she were a toy meant for play. Kay, in that moment, the fabric of her dress ripped, the soft sound cutting through the air like a trigger. A newfound clarity ignited within her, a realization so profound it stopped time. Silence had chained her. It was time to break free. With a sudden grace, the martial artist within her surged forth. She dropped into a stance, muscles coiling with purpose. The first kick sent shockwaves through the air, and as she unleashed a flurry of moves, adrenaline fueled her resolve. No longer a victim, she was a force, and the world shifted beneath their feet. The night air was thick with tension as she walked home, her heart pounding with anxiety. The glow of streetlights illuminated the SUV parked ahead, the unmistakable shapes of Bryce, Tate, and Drew inside. Recognizing them sent a jolt of fear through her, but it was quickly replaced by a grain of defiance. "Look who it is," Tate jeered, swaggering toward her. "Thought you'd sneak past us?" She tightened her grip on her bag, feeling the familiar weight of her black belt in karate hidden beneath her clothing. "I'm not in the mood for games," she replied, her voice steady, a stark contrast to her racing heart. Bryce lunged, grabbing her arm. "Come on, just a little chat. We're just concerned about you." That's when it clicked. This time, silence wouldn't save her. With a swift motion, she dropped into a karate stance. "Let go of me," she commanded, an empowering certainty igniting in her chest. To her surprise, Tate faltered. "What are you—" Before he could finish, she struck, her movements fluid and precise, memories of her training flooding back. She disarmed Bryce, twisting his arm and forcing him back with practiced ease. Gasps of nearby witnesses erupted, their shouts now a chorus of support. As she stood tall, the fear began to dissipate, courage replacing it. "You underestimated me," she declared, turning to face them all with newfound confidence. When the police arrived, the men were sobbing, their bravado erased. "They attacked me," she asserted calmly, telling her story as the truth unfolded. That night marked her reclaiming of agency, the tipping point where silence transformed into strength. Sharing her experience sparked an online movement, empowering others to voice their own truths. This was just the beginning. "Welcome to Monroe Models," she later announced, her new agency dedicated to safety and empowerment in the industry, ensuring no one would feel as vulnerable as she once did. Unity prevailed in the echoes of her voice. The night air chills as the model walks home, the studio lights fading behind her, replaced by the dark embrace of the streets. Shadows loom as she notices the SUV parked nearby. Bryce, Tate, and Drew lean against it, their laughter cutting through the silence like a knife. Her heart races, memories of martial arts training flooding her mind, but the fear grips her relentlessly. "Hey, beautiful, don't walk away so fast," Tate calls, swaggering closer. She feels their predatory gaze, their entitlement tangible. When Bryce grabs her arm, she feels the weight of all the silent no's she's forced to swallow. The dress they tug at tears, and in that instant, anger ignites, outshining the dread. Her body shifts instinctively into a karate stance, decades of training erupting within her. "Let go of me," she asserts, voice steady yet fierce. She sees the shock in their eyes just as she unleashes a series of rapid, precise strikes, a whirlwind of pent-up strength. One incapacitated, then another. The last, Drew, stumbles back as if finally realizing he has no power here. Neighbors pour onto their balconies, murmurs shifting to shouts of encouragement. "Get them!" they cheer, their support swirling around her, emboldening her. She feels unshakable. A force. The men's bravado crumbles, replaced by panic and shame, tears in their eyes revealing vulnerability they've never acknowledged. When the police arrive, the truth spills forth, her decisive narrative stark against their feeble attempts to twist the story. She stands tall, the embodiment of bravery while they squirm, reduced to whispers. Days later, in the vibrant glow of her new agency, Monroe Models, she shares her story online. Conversations begin to blossom, igniting a revolution where others stand tall alongside her. As she watches the industry transform, Bryce, Tate, and Drew fade into obscurity, their influence decimated. In silence, the camera pulls away, leaving her to inspire countless others to rise against injustice, ensuring that they, too, can withstand the storm. As I look back on that night, I can hardly believe how far I've come. The street may have felt dark and dangerous in that moment, but but now it shines with the light of my voice and the strength I never knew I had. Defending myself wasn't just about survival, it was an awakening. Each blow I landed was a reclamation of power I had been denied before. I realized then that I'm not just a model, I'm a force. In sharing my story, I unearthed not just my resilience, but also the voices of countless others who felt silenced. Our experiences aren't isolated. They're woven together in the fabric of this industry. Stories of both vulnerability and empowerment. Do you think I went too far? What would you have done in my place? Have you ever had someone treat you like that? Let's continue this conversation. I invite you to comment and share your own experiences with harassment and standing up for yourself. Together, we can create a community rooted in justice, awareness, and support.